Just when you thought it was safe to take the car keys and try to hide sharp objects from senile old Joe, the guy who claims to actually be the president of the United States has decided that disgracing the presidency isn't enough for him. No, you see, now he wants to destroy the sanctity and independence of the United States Supreme Court. Biden announced Monday that he wants to reform the court by imposing term limits, instituting a defined and enforceable code of conduct, and pushing for a constitutional amendment to negate the High Court's recent ruling granting presidents immunity from prosecution for their official acts while in office. Here's Joe's trying to justify all of this in a speech yesterday, where he not only slurs words, but also throws in a couple of sentences that don't make sense at all. Listen.
In recent years, extreme opinions that the Supreme Court has handed down have undermined long-established civil rights principles and protections. 2013, the Supreme Court in Shelby County case gutted the Voting Rights Act, opening the floodgates to a wave of restrictive voting laws that have seen states across the country pass.
Huh? Well, you have to forgive Joe. This entire operation is really a humiliation for him. You see, the supposed sitting president of the United States has been cast aside as a has-been. Now he's fronting another lost cause, at least in his lifetime. Speaker of the House Mike Johnson says this proposal is dead on arrival in Congress. He's not alone. In the Senate, the idea of destroying the Supreme Court is not going over well. Here's Senator John Kennedy. Listen.
When President Biden's Supreme Court proposal gets to Capitol Hill, in my opinion, it's as dead as Woodrow Wilson. I don't think the House will even bring it up. I don't know of anyone who's taking it that seriously. Number two, I don't think President Biden's proposal is really President Biden's proposal. I think it's Vice President Kamala Harris's proposal. When the president announced it, she immediately endorsed it enthusiastically. I think she's asked him to take the lead, so in case there's blowback, it doesn't get on her.
Yeah, but it got even more embarrassing after that. You see, Biden moved on to his most ridiculous argument of all, considering the source. Joe Biden, a man who has enriched himself while supposedly in public service for decades, a man who bent over backwards for credit card companies, foreign powers, and so much more. Yes, that Joe Biden had the audacity to call for a code of ethics to be imposed on the High Court. His full frontal assault focused on ethics. Pretty damn funny coming from this guy. Here it is.
The court is not self-policing. The court is not dealing with the obvious conflicts of interest. We need a mandatory code of ethics for the Supreme Court, and we need it now. My fellow Americans, based on all my experience, I'm certain we need these reforms. We need these reforms to restore trust in the courts, preserve the system of checks and balances that are vital to our democracy. They're also common sense reforms that a vast majority of the American people support, as well as leading constitutional law scholars, progressive and conservatives.
I can't stand that.
I look forward to working.
I can't. Yeah, the massive majority of people and all these constitutional scholars. Stop it.